Hmm. Mm-mm. Let me. I don't know. The internet's shit. Absolutely shit. Yeah. But anyway, I'll do the best I can with my shitty internet. So, this decrepit creature I left a message on her last video. Now, like I said, I'm well aware that my router it's not my router, it's the service itself. I do not need to be reminded that I have a shitty internet service since the storm, whatever. But on Michelle's last cooking video, which I was hoping for an explosion, I left a comment. Now, this is on Rumble. So you can read that, Mojo. You can read that, because I'm also sick and tired of people telling me I can't read. I'm on a phone. That's not my problem. That's your problem. I show you across a format where everyone can read. If you can't read, maybe start a channel, raise some money, get some glasses or something. I don't know. So, I've also been checking out her other videos. I will put another picture up. And Just let me add this picture. Now, this is from one of her previous cooking videos. It shows you the controls on her gas cooktop. Now, cameras, let me adjust this. I don't want really any part of that foul monkey, because I understand that people cannot see. I guess that'll do. So, I'll leave a message on her stupid video, and she can't cook. I don't care what you say. She can't cook for shit. Good morning, Amiak. Good morning, Mojo. Good morning, Chella. Good morning, Sue. Lovely to see you. Hope you're all doing well. So, you know, if you're going to show receipts, you're going to show what was said, what was done, what the achievement is, to prove a point. Exactly the point in the title. The most dangerous and dumbest cook on social media. And to show you that Michelle hasn't changed one bit. She's a whore, a slut, and I don't care what anyone says. So, now that we have a full house, let's examine the text messages. Or the messages left through comment sections on her Rumble. 5 hours ago, I left her a message. You endangered your own dogs through your narcissism and your delusions of grandeur. No water was spilt. Your third burner was turned on by the chopping board and you failed to check it. You are sick and demented. She then replies, you should purchase a gas stove. Sorry, sweetheart. I don't need to purchase one. I already have a 4-burner gas stove. Period. Period. It was clicking. Hang on. You should purchase a gas stove and get water on a burner. You drunk. You drunk. We'll talk about that in a minute and we'll analyse her drinks. Period. Matter of fact, might do a bit of a scientific experiment. Just might. And it won't take long to do it. To prove my point. So, I've shown you the messages. I will leave this video up. Now let's have a look at her stovetop. As you can see, there are 3 knobs. 1 and 2 for the front. 3 and 4 for the back. I can't do any better than this. If you can't see that, that's a you problem. That's not a me problem. Also, I'd like to switch screens. And I would like to point you to a certain area. of her screen. Which I'll be doing the experiment on. Her drink. Her energy drink. Now, if you have a look at the drink sitting on the desk, on the bench top there, you will see that one is quite. That one hasn't had too much, well, alcohol mixed in it. Refraction of light against liquids, the spectrum of light bounces from all directions. The curvature of the glass gives a fisheye lens effect. You can see the fridge through the background of that glass. Now, drinks manufacturers have a certain standard. Even down to the clarity of the drink, it must be even and uniform across the brand for the brand to be successful. Right. The 3 burners. Now, I'm going to play off my videos. Try and save some bandwidth, because I know I have a shitty internet connection. It's not my fault. God damn. Ads.
But
the body language I will also speak of.
with olive oil, but you need a little more than a drizzle.
The demeanor.
The whole time. It just it got wet.
What the fuck? Ah. Her cooked mayonnaise, fucking salmon, crappy, shitty, vegetable shit. The ticking stove. No dogs present at this point. Research it yourself. Gas is heavier than oxygen, air, the things that humans need to live on. She's still ticking here. And Lucy was right. It is the same top.
I'm not gonna blow up my house.
We'll discuss that.
Jennifer, you're late for the party. It got wet.
The body language, the facial expression right there. She's sick and tired at this point of trying to convince people that it got wet, but we'll talk about that. Now, let me adjust this picture. I'm sorry if you can't see. That's a you problem, not a me problem. I'm probably the only one that would do this anyway. She, there's the fork in her hand, magnified obviously. The look on her face, that air of frustration, of K-Bear's mama. I want, well, this is the message I left her on her video. There's the control mechanisms to her cooktop. And she left me this message as a reply to the message I left her. Like I said, you can't read it, not a me problem. That's a you problem. You endangered your own dogs through your narcissism and your delusions of grandeur. No water was spilt on your. No water was spilt. Your third burner was turned on by the chopping board, and you failed to check it. You are sick and demented. Her reply 1 hour later was, you should purchase a gas stove, like she thinks she's the only one who has a gas stove. I'm prepared to make a $1 million bet right now and show you the gas cooktop in the kitchen. Straight up. Owning a gas-fired cooktop is not something that is just relegated to Michelle. There's millions and millions and hundreds of millions of them all over the world. Matter of fact, I've only ever had gas cooktops in my life. Now, hello TN girl. Hello Lisa Levac. The water. Apparently, it was water. H2O. H2O. I will leave this video up. And have at it, copy it, whatever. I know I get some things wrong on here, but I know when I'm right. Hello, Lily. Now, oh, sorry. One more thing, just to make sure you get it. There's one more knob, and you can just see the bottom of the knob on the very bottom of the picture. The first two knobs are for the burners closest to her. 3 and 4 are for the top two burners. The negative is the low side of the flame, and the positive is the high side of the flame. Are we satisfied with that? Good. So here, the stove is still ticking.
And it's not the gas igniter.
Now, it's going to take a bit of time, because if you're going to prove a valid point, you have to submit what you know. I'll tell you my experience with gas cooktops. So, back in the 2000s, I built a house for a friend. The house was in Mitcham. And a shipping container was delivered from England to the property. I can tell you that when that shipping container is delivered, you have 3 days to empty it, or the charges on the shipping container incur as time progresses. What was in the shipping container? All the gas appliances and all the window schedule for the frame, for the house. Now those gas appliances were only standardized to the building code in England. Once they got here to Australia, they basically had to go to an engineering faculty. The specs would be marked down and checked and changed according to what needed to be changed in those appliances to conform with the Australian building standards, the Australian safety standards, and the Australian Building Code. Now, hello, Val. Like I've shown you, there's 4 knobs on her burner. I leave her a message, which is, you endangered your own dogs through your... I missed a letter R. I will acknowledge that. I've made one mistake so far. Through your narcissism and your delusions of grandeur, no water was spilt. Your burner was turned on by the chopping board and you failed to check it. You are sick and demented. She replies, you should purchase a gas stove. Why would I need to purchase one when I've got one? It has a piezo ignition exactly like yours. And get water on a burner, you drunk. It was clicking the entire time both burners were running. Do you like baseball? Strike. What she's insinuating there is she thinks I'm pissed off because I struck her. She doesn't realise that she struck me, sorry. But I am responsible for her losing many of the channels that she made on here. Not all. I had my shot. So, do you like artillery fire? Now, you've seen that. The stove at this point is still ticking.
It's the igniter for the thing. You're late, Jennifer. You're late to the party.
Watch the picture in picture, the one below me. All the controls for that gas cooktop with no water spilt on it. Gas is flowing out of a 1 hour, 1 minute and 2 second stream. Here we go.
Jennifer.
Let me slow down this process. Now, the gas cooktop. The camera in this cooking video was on a different angle. I had to get this picture of her stove cooktop. I have put a round ring with the coloured it red, turned down the opacity to 20%, put a minus and a positive to show you the direction of the knob. It is the 3rd knob that I'm talking about. Hello, MB Ray. Watch. Her hands are on the 3rd knob. She turns it. She smells the gas
It finally just stopped ticking.
because she turned the gas off.
It literally just stopped ticking.
Normal speed.
Jennifer,
Knob off. Sniff of the gas.
it just stopped ticking. It literally just stopped ticking.
Because you turned the knob off.
I'm gonna blow up my nose. It just literally dried up. It literally just dried out. I just moved this to show you that they were all off.
She lies right there. She moved that and realized that she never checked the third knob. She actually turned the knob. But not happy.
Jennifer,
She moves the board. Let's slow it right down. Turn. Speed it back up. Now, I'd like to point you to something else. The body language.
it's the igniter for the thing. You're late, Jennifer. You're late to the party.
You will see that she's not sniffing anything or anything like that. She moves the board.
Jennifer,
She turns the knob. She's going to give you some bullshit story that she moved the board to show you that everything was off. She's going to say it literally stopped ticking. Keep watching. Right there, she smells the gas because the gas has been leaking for so long. Gas is heavier than air. Gas rises from the ground up. One smell.
it finally just stopped ticking. It literally just stopped again.
Here she goes again. She can smell the gas.
It just literally dried up.
It literally just dried up. She's blaming water. The only time that water was on the stove was in a pot cooking spaghetti.
It literally just dried up. I just moved this to show you they're all off. It's been clicking the whole show.
That was not the one that was ticking. The one you turned off was under your chopping board. By the way, ladies, gentlemen, if you're watching this, never put a chopping board on the controls of your gas stove.
Everything's been on. Literally everything has been on. They were all off. I just want to share that they were all off.
They were not all off. I just proved one was on the old time. Now,
Jennifer.
one more time, I need to get the timestamp to prove to you the time the gas was left on. She moves the board. She's just seen the third knob. She goes to grab it. Tell me she's not turning that knob. Tell me. Speed it up to normal speed. One hour, 1 minute, and 2 seconds is the time of the stream. She stops this knob, turns it at 56 minutes and 38 seconds. She just smelt the gas again.
it just stopped ticking.
I can tell you that at this part of her stream, it's not ticking yet. Because her chopping board, which is resting on the control mechanisms that need to be depressed and turned to allow the ticking, known as a piezo igniter, to start firing to light a flame from the gas expelling from the diffuser on the gas cooktop. A barometric sensor, once it senses the flame, turns off the piezo ignition. As you can see, the dogs are walking around in the messy kitchen at this point. You can see let me readjust. Where am I? There's the pot with the water in it. There's both pots, as you can see. There's her drink, most likely laced with alcohol. Are you satisfied that that enlargement, that representation is those two pots there, that drink? Are you satisfied? Right. I will readjust as need be for the purposes of the viewing audience.
Okay. I'm gonna keep this other half of squash because I have another squash and a zucchini. Put this up. Okay, I can put these eggs up because I don't need them. I don't need butter. We're doing a dill sauce. I need lemon, but I don't need two. I think I need garlic powder. Put the dill up. I need parsley. I don't need my red pepper. I don't need meat my Dijon. I'm also back to make my Monday sauce. Okay, see how this pasta's going.
let's have a look. She's playing in the pot of water. Tell me if you see any water spilling out of that pot, of this pot right here.
Who taught you to cook? I'm kind of self-taught. I love to cook. My friend in New Orleans
No water.
owns 5 restaurants. 5-star restaurants. And but I knew how to cook before then.
Righto. Let me just readjust and stop. As you can see, the water line at the back of the saucepan is below the 2 rivets that hold the handle to the saucepan. Let's slow this down. No water has spilt out, from what I can see. I can't make this clearer enough. I cannot make this clearer enough. She's just taken it off the stove. So there's no water spilt.
Turn off the heat.
She's emptied the pot of spaghetti in a strainer in the sink. She's got no idea about timing, because the first thing that should have been cooked in this instance, considering she declares that cooked spaghetti, should have gone on last for the amount of time using the calculation of a 1 hour, 1 second, 1 minute, and 2-second video. I can calculate how long her stupid fucked up vegetables, her stupid fucking hollandaise mayonnaise fucked up sauce was on there for. I can calculate exactly how long that spaghetti was cooked for, and I could also deduct from her stupid ass cooking that she spilt no water. Matter of fact, you'll be able to see that. As you can see, this is where her troubles begin. She doesn't even know, she's cooked in this kitchen so long, she doesn't even know knob 1, 2, 3, 4, how they're relegated to her stove cooktop. That's why covering them up with the chopping board has thrown her in an unknown world. So you can see that you have to turn the knob to hear that igniter. The minute that knob is turned, if the igniter fails to light the gas is still flowing because that igniter doesn't turn off until a barometric sensor cuts it off.
I'm turning off the wrong one. No wonder.
Here, she will move the chopping board to show you that she's actually cooking the chopping board. Oh, look at that. Look at this. Look, we can do better. Hang on. Would you agree that there's a flame under the chopping board? At the 18-minute and 34-second mark of a 1 hour, 1 minute and 2-second video. Right. 4 seconds to go before her troubles start. Considering there is a spaghetti spoon, a ladle that you pick up the spaghetti with on the front of the board, considering all her vegetables are at the top end of the chopping board, there is a dramatic unbalancing of weight in that situation alone. It may not be much, but in 3 seconds, you will, within that 3-second time frame, she will move her hand, place it to the center of the chopping board underneath, not lift it. There will be no lifting action whatsoever, and she will drag it, and it is at this very point that, unbeknownst to this drunkard whore, the knob, from the weight of the chopping board and the friction, even air has friction, she turns on the third knob. Here we go. Let's slow-mo it first. Take it right down. I'll even tell you when the ticking starts before she turns off that burner, before this burner that is lit gets turned off. The third knob will have come on already. There is no ticking. Doesn't lift the board up, like I said. Slides it over the third knob.
Yeah.
Her hand is going to reach the first knob to turn off that burner that was cooking the chopping board. Wait. She's ignited the first burner. Therefore, the chopping board is cooking. Clearly has no idea.
Turn off the wrong one. No longer.
Slides the board over. Exposes the flame.
Don't want to burn.
As you can hear, the ticking in this scenario is the burner that she claims to have put spilt water on. It isn't. It's the next one above the burning one under the chopping board. Let me give you a better view. Now, if you can't see, it's not my problem. That's a you problem. I am taking up a screen that everyone has as a standard. So I don't want to hear. I can't see. I don't want to hear it.
Cooking board.
Right. Here we go again. Ignites the one under the chopping board. The bigger picture is to show you the position of her hand as opposed to the knobs. As opposed to those knobs.
Turn off the wrong one.
She is nowhere near the third knob. There is quite a gap between the second knob and the third knob. Just a common sense design in that stovetop to say, hey, the two buttons at the top, that's for your left and right burner at the top part when you're standing in front of that cook plate. The two buttons at the bottom, that's for the two bottom ones. And mind you, I've already shown you that no water was spilt whatsoever from this point of view. None. Matter of fact, there's no water in the next saucepan either. However, watch her hand.
No longer.
The burner's burning under the chopping board. Right there. Hang on. Readjust. Here we go. Let me shrink this down a bit. Like I said, if you can't see, that's a you problem. It's about to ignite within 1 second. It's on now. And she's nowhere near the third knob. As you can hear, it did 3 ticks before she grabs the first knob and rotates it to extinguish the flame on that burner. It's already ticking. It's now done 6 ticks. The flame is on that bottom burner. She turns it off. But because she's failed to identify that the third burner was turned on by the friction caused and the weight of the equilibrium, the weight shift on that knob, the friction actually activated all the controls. There's no water that's been spilt on the stove. None. She replaces the board. She's got her hand on the second knob. Goes nowhere near the third knob, which there's a space, a quite substantial space, and the third knob is further up. First knob. Now, I could go back to this screen to show you the knobs that I'm talking about, as I just did. Let me take this out of the equation. Let me 18 minutes, 37 seconds of a 1 hour, 1 minute and 2 second string. Now the basic calculation for that would be fucking mouse. That's wrong. That's how. Perfect. There is 42 minutes in the stream to go from the 18-minute and 37-second mark, which is where the igniter was switched on through her bad methods and practices in the kitchen, where she just claimed she was self-taught. She has no idea. Gas is running at this point. I showed you the body languages, the facial recognition of when she smells the gas. I proved to you there was no water spilt whatsoever on that gas cook plate. And she calls me a drunk. No worries, Lise. I hope you have an enjoyable day at work. I really do. I really, really do. Right. So, with 42 minutes left of that stream at the 18-minute and 37-second mark, gas is flowing. Gas is flowing. And she's going to tell you, which I've proven, no water was spilt out of the saucepan.
What's going on? Hold on.
She's embarrassed here of the situation because Michelle always wins.
It got wet.
Good improv. Great improv. Great lie, too. Absolutely a lie.
Great.
Absolutely a lie. Her problem is here, that chopping board is over the burner that is sparking continuously and relentlessly. Playing with the second knob.
So my burner got wet. So it can be.
And here is.
It got wet. Great.
Hang on. The look of stupidity dumbfoundedness, most likely fucking drunk. Right. Now, through her own doing, we have a full view of the stovetop. Let's examine it. Energy drink laced with T.T.S. As you can clearly see, liquid is liquid. There is no liquid near any of them burners. None. So, great. Quick thinking to tell the people that your burner got wet. Couldn't give a fuck, to be honest. Couldn't even care if you killed your own dogs through the dissipation of oxygen within that room, because gas being heavier than oxygen rising from bottom to top is pretty much your own fault. And it is the very reason when you lit your cigarette lighter, which Chick said, no, she didn't light her cigarette. I proved to you that she did. I'll prove it again. At this point in time, the dumbass, she's so smart and intelligent, didn't think about the third button.
It's gonna be ticking my entire show. Stop it.
She even bashes the stovetop.
My burner got wet, y'all. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, her burner got wet. She's so tired.
Me too. The entire show because it got wet.
It's not even that.
That is so annoying. Alright, so turn on the pot city here.
Now, the water spilt on her stove. Now, but not enough to do what she claims would happen. Matter of fact, if it got wet, it wouldn't light, but you could still light the stove with a match or a cigarette lighter, which would cut off that piezo ignition.
When you have a gas stove and it gets wet, it kicks. So
Now, you might still be trying to fucking linger on her side and take up for this whore, this slut, this putrid human being. And I got to show you something. Right? I'll go to my email after.
it's gonna be ticking the entire friggin' show. Sorry guys. So I'm gonna put some olive oil.
Who puts the olive oil in their spaghetti? Number one, you put the olive oil in the water when you're cooking the spaghetti.
I guess I'm gonna do this on the front burner.
even though she spilt water on that front burner, as you can see, there is not really fucking any water there.
See, but I will. God, that's so annoying. If anybody has a gas stove and you wet a burner, I'll wet the damn burner.
No, you didn't.
Some garlic, tons and tons of parsley.
Oh, hang on.
If anybody has a gas stove and you wet a burner, I'll wet the damn burner. Some garlic, tons and tons of parsley.
Overbalancing at that point. I'm talking about her. She's under the influence of something.
It's gonna tick until it dries. This is so annoying.
Water in her environment, I believe in Georgia, it's not that warm. The kind of water she's talking about would need to go through an evaporation process, which would be achieved through heat, sunlight, heat. As you can see, she claims once it stops ticking, but I've shown you that she actually needs to turn the knob on the third, which is the third knob. Now, mind you, all you people who sit there and rag on this bitch about how she can't take care of her dogs and all that, that gas is flowing. Yeah. It totally is flowing. Totally. And I can prove to you with this very picture here. Some more. So, obviously having trouble undoing her spice rack. Let's go to, because I can't be bothered watching her cook because she can't cook shit. Now, here's the thing. There's a better angle of the stove, of the cooktop, right? It's covered in spaghetti that she broke to put in the water. As you can see, the front burner and the back burner that you can actually see are both the same colour. The stove is quite dirty. And she claims you saw her bash that very bottom corner exposed burner with the ladle, and she hit the fucking pot on the stove. Now, we're still ticking, right?
No.
So she just grabs a fry pan out of the cupboard And what's she going to say?
Because it's done. Alright. Frying pan. I'll get my big one.
This is where she gets unraveled because she forgets her own bullshit that she made up.
You now see that little bit of water that's right there? Yeah. That's what...
Now, let's have a look at her clothing. Yeah. I think Lucy got it right. But remember, you saw her bash that burner in the corner because it's wet and it doesn't fire up, right? It doesn't fire up. And I'm drunk.
This whole thing off.
She places the fry pan on the burner that apparently got struck with water and is not working.
Cut a few places of bacon.
Let me... Hang on. So she's lit it, right? What's this? Let's go half speed.
Yeah, let's turn.
She's going to turn it on. But how could that be? Because you got water on it. How could that be?
Back on and still gonna do the same thing.
No, it's not going to do the same thing because it's your third burner button under that chopping board. Right there, her story is flawed 100%. Her energy drink, which is not transparent, has been laced with alcohol, and she's on some kind of drugs as well.
They still picking.
It's still ticking. It's still ticking. She then proceeds to cook, and you can see.
What happened? I cleaned the stove.
Oh. Now, I want you to take a look at her fry pan, how filthy and disgusting, and this shows she's a fucking real lazy person because none of my fry pans have got that browny shit, whatever it is, hanging up the sides. She's one of these people in the kitchen that only washes the inside of the fry pan. Look at how disgusting. Look at how disgusting that fry pan is. I'm sorry. There ain't no water on your stove. I'm not drunk and I haven't had a drink for like, I don't know, a bit. I'm not on any medicine or Adderalls or pharmaceuticals like you'd be. I haven't even smoked weed for quite a while. But you're the one telling me I'm drunk. You're the one who shows your fucking dirty kitchen. You're the one who can't clean fry pans. You're the one whose story is unraveling as the timeline ticks along. You're the one submitting them dogs to the gas that you can't smell yet because gas is heavier than air, but them dogs have already hightailed it out of there. Service dogs, right? Service dogs.
And Etienne was at work.
Hang on. I want to hear her bullshit.
When it first happened, the first time it happened, I'd clean the stove.
You cleaned the stove and most likely scratched it using steel wool. The steel wool most likely got caught in the piezo ignition, therefore not shortening the length of the trip from the spark to reach that burner. Michelle, everybody knows you do not clean your stovetop with steel wool, with Brylo or whatever the fuck you call it. Because considering you can't clean a fucking fry pan properly, judging, but not judging, just exposing to the world on a narcissistic live stream where you cannot cook, you've said there was water spilt, proved there was no water, and I will prove that it is your third knob that you failed to check because of your little fucking shitty ass bench in your kitchen that has no room on it to actually do what you're doing, or you can't be fucking bothered moving the camera around. Girlfriend, you call me a drunk? Damn, look at the clarity of that drink on your bench.
And Etienne was at work. And I posted on Facebook because I thought the whole stove was going to blow up. I was like, oh my God, my stove is going to blow up.
That drink.
And I went under the stove and I turned the gas off. And I posted it on Facebook like, my stove is clicking, it's clicking. ATM's at work, I don't know what to do. My whole stove is going to blow up. I'm scared to death. And my girlfriend Dana posted under it. She's like, nah. She said, did you just clean your stove or did you spill some water on one of the burners?
You just explained out of your own words that you posted on Facebook your stove was ticking, and then someone who replies to you a bit because you cleaned it, right? You just said your own words that you posted on Facebook, you cleaned your stove and it was ticking, and my God, you thought and then you state in a reply that someone asked you, did you just clean your stove? Now, which one is it, Michelle?
Or she said, do you spill some water? And I'm like, no. I was like, all I did was clean it. She's like, well, that's why.
Your manipulation days were far, far, far over with me a long, long time ago. Matter of fact, within the first week of meeting you.
Yeah, so my girlfriend actually warned me, notified me that that's why I was doing that.
No, you said you posted to Facebook your stove, you just cleaned your stove and your stove was ticking. Then you just said your girlfriend asked you if you just cleaned your... Michelle, I can debunk your lies in a heartbeat. And there's other intelligent people on here. And by the light of the flame under the burner, which you said was not working, you said that.
I'm gonna throw all this in. There's some bacon grease and some olive oil. We let it all cook.
So, here we've got 2 burners running.
No, it's not safety issues. Aggravated crap. Move over.
41 minutes and 19 seconds. Still going, and we're waiting for the George Foreman for the light to turn green. This light here, right there, this light there.
Let me cover this up so it stays warm.
As you can see, the top burner, the flame, it is going.
Out. Keep that heat going.
Oh, they're getting out, don't worry.
When this turns green, we're gonna wait like 3.5 minutes and we have dinner. Somehow on the Bible ones.
Another drink.
Guys, as soon as you see the green light come on,
Why would you...
we'll have food.
Right. See that drink? Let's focus on that drink right there. Let's focus on that. Let's. Now, I've got a container of Gatorade powder. I buy 24 bottle packs of drinking water. And when you go to work, you shovel spoonfuls of the red Gatorade sports drink into the bottle. My only question is here, no matter how much Gatorade I shovel into that bottle, I bet you can see through the bottle. Now, that there definitely has something in it. Definitely. But like, here's one of her major flaws. And I know hello, Carlos. How are you? I know I keep going on about it, but I've studied this clip with such intensity that I can tell you here. There's no ticking noise. That I can tell you.
Done, let's pull it off.
Here, there's no ticking noise. I can tell you here
Star restaurants.
that the water's boiling in that saucepan. I can prove to you that this dickhead, as she removes this saucepan from the stovetop, that no water spills from it. Watch.
But I knew that cooked before then.
There's the water line.
I think this is done.
No water was spilt.
Let's pull it off.
I can tell you there's still another 37 seconds to go before the ticking starts from the third knob.
Turn off the heat.
And this is where it begins to happen. She just ignited the burner under the chopping board.
I'm sorry.
She's now on the second burner. As you've seen, her hand moves up. How do I know? I have studied the model and make of her gas cooktop. And if you see the distance between number 1 and number 2, and then you see how much her hand moved just then, you will see that she's moved from number 1 to number 2.
Turn off the wrong one.
Wait. She's on number 1 now, using her thumb and her forefinger. She's just ignited the stovetop burner under the chopping board. Let's slow this down. She's about to slide her hand up to the second knob. Back to the first. Back to the second. Ignites the one under the chopping board. Back to the second. Back to the first. She says, fuck it. She slides over the fucking chopping board. The flame is on under the chopping board. Before her hand slides back to the controls of the stove, the friction caused by the weight on the chopping board has now pushed in button number 3. And if you listen carefully, the ticking noise starts in 1.5 seconds, even before she turns off that burner which was cooking her chopping board. I'll make sure I got the volume at full blast. The ticking is going, even before her hand gets to that control point. Watch. And I could slow it more, and if I really could be bothered, I could do a sound analysis and show you the thermal wave of the soundtrack of the third button being ignited, which she totally neglected, which saw gas leaking in her house for an excessive amount of time. Second button. She moves the chopping board. Flames going. Moves it again. and begins to activate the third button. Her hand now starts moving back to the control of the first knob, but listen for the first tick. There it is there. The very first tick. That button is already activated. Gas starts leaking from this point. There is no water. There is no nothing. But here's the thing.
I burn the cooking board.
Second button. First button. Here we go. Improvisation.
What's going on? Hold on.
Second button. First button.
Wet.
Here she goes. She's pissed off now, and she makes all this shit up.
What's going on? Hold on. It got wet.
It got wet. It got wet, and look at the burner she's looking at.
Great. So my burner got wet. So it can be ticking my entire show. Stop it.
She bashes it with the saucepan.
My burner got wet, y'all. I'm so sorry.
The third button is now active. The gas is flowing. See how she grabs that ladle? Am I seeing things? When she even goes to hit the burner with the ladle.
The entire show because it got wet.
It got wet, right? Then please, someone explain to me this very moment with her filthy fry pan sitting over the burner that got wet, that cannot spark.
I know, it's still going to do the same thing.
She's going to ignite it now, and she's rubbing that board up the stove over the third button, most likely opening it even more. But that won't ignite, right? That won't ignite. There you go. Ignites a burner that there's nothing wrong with because she can't fucking realise she's so stupid, so fucked up on drugs, and so drunk from a completely laced energy drink that should be able to be seen through.
Okay, still ticking.
Right. At the 18-minute and 37-second mark, she's got 42 minutes and 65 seconds left in this video. Time's a ticking. We're not going to worry about that. What we're going to worry about, and I'm not worried, I wish the kitchen would have exploded. It would have made for great content to see that stupid bitch running around her kitchen all fucking frizzled up hair and fucking the joint on fire. Burning down the house. You may notice in her hand, in case you can't see, let me show you her hand. Now, I'm sorry I'm not being thorough enough. And I'm sorry that some people will say, he's full of shit, he doesn't know what he's talking about. That's a cigarette right there. That's a fucking cigarette right there in her hand, is it not? Is that not a cigarette in her hand? Please tell me. I mean, like, could we Do you need me to get in closer on that? Maybe. Do hello, Praxis. Sorry you haven't got a wrench. I wouldn't want anyone to feel indifferent. There you go. Is that not a cigarette in her hand? I think it is. And I had someone say to me, yeah, but she didn't light it. Really? Really? She didn't light it. Now, I'd like to, now that you know in this part of the 46 minutes left, she has a cigarette in her hand. Let's show you something else. Right. Would you agree that that window is the window that is next to her in the non-enlarged picture? Would you agree that? Would you agree with that? I don't care if you don't or not. I know that that is an enlarged scene from her video, and I can do as I wish, as I please. I can make it bigger. Matter of fact, I'm going to make it bigger, and I don't want to hear that you can't see. That will be a you problem, not a me problem. But I will do my best to prove to you what I'm saying. As you can see the bottle, the black container, and the reflection of her kitchen in that glass.
Oh, it's wet. So it's going click, 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 click.
And she's got a snoz on her. Her nose is fucking huge.
Coming out of it. Just the element's wet. So it's going click, 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 click.
Yeah, okay.
Turn green. I'm gonna step off the camera and have a cigarette.
Did you hear that? She's going to slip off the camera and have a cigarette. And she could argue that she never lit it. I wish there was more gas in the room. I would have loved to seen the fucking the rooftop blown off. I would have loved to have seen fucking you imagine? Let's slow these down to a quarter speed. There's the first lighter strike. Right there. Right there. Right there. And you might argue she grabs her lighter at the 44. Like, gas has not even been running 10, hang on, 18, 37, 37. Gas has been running for 7 minutes, making a combustible explosion actually impossible because there's still too much oxygen in the room. You need a balance in physics and chemistry for certain events and explosions to happen. She's all happy with herself because she thinks she's fooled you all with a bullshit story that I've completely debunked about water. She doesn't realize that the George Foreman is sitting on the chopping board. The burner, the third burner button, the top burner, is the one that keeps striking. Oppose. She's got a lighter in her right hand, a cigarette in her left hand. You will see the lighter strike in the reflection of the window. There's the lighter. She's got her hand behind the flame. She's actually facing this way. She strikes the lighter twice, by the way. Once is not what you're seeing now. There's the second strike. Now, one more time for the finale. At the 58-minute mark of 56 minutes and 32 seconds of a 1 hour and 1 second, 1 minute and 2 second video, just by her facial reactions, you can tell she's starting to smell the gas. How do I know? We're not dumb fucks. Just by facial expressions. Let me organize this for you. Here she goes for the cooktop. I'd just like to bring a picture in right about now. There's the third button. Just let me show you something. Here we go. Sorry, this repositioning and all that takes a bit of time. I think that'll do. Now, with the ability to present things the best possible way that I can, I want to show you something. The control mechanisms I was able to grab from one of our previous streams, which shows you that there's 4 buttons to that stovetop, the directions for plus, minus. I've put now like numerics on there, button 1, 2, and 3. Button 2 is the one that fired off the fry pan, which she claimed was tick, 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 which totally wasn't. Button 3 was the culprit. I have proven to you that it was her lack of attention from dragging her fucking chopping board, which she tried to cook, by the way. That will see you understand the concept of the hand being in a different position from button 1 to button 2 to button 3. So, full speed first.
Jennifer.
I can see button 1 here. I can see button 2 just under the plate here. And here is button 3 that I've been speaking about, which is on this picture. Now, are you going to try and tell me that she doesn't, what would you say, turn the knob off, therefore cutting the gas and ending the relentless sparking of the piezo ignition, which was built to a code, to a standard for safety? You going to try and tell me that? Let's watch. Turn. Let's speed it back up. There's the first sniff. She smells the gas. In case you didn't get it, I can show you that again.
It just stopped ticking.
It just stopped ticking because you fucking turned it off. And having said that, before she goes calling anyone a drunk, considering my message on that video was simply you endangered your own dogs through your narcissism and your delusions of grandeur. No water was spilt on your third burner was turned on by the chopping board and you failed to check it. You are sick and demented. She replied, you should purchase a gas stove and get water on it. Matter of fact, when I go back to the house, I'll get water on it. And I'll prove it to you. Straight up. That is the best I can do through a timeline to prove to you. I'll do the calculation. 42 seconds left. The gas was running for minus 56.46 for 13 minutes and 81 hundredths of a second. So that whole meal, salmon, vegetables, and by the way, she is filthy and disgusting. She absolutely is, and I'll show you why. Let me take these out. Let me readjust one more time. Call me a drunk whore. Is it me? Is it just me that has the clean outside of a fry pan, or is this just normal? Is this normal that you don't clean the outside of your fry pans and you let this shit build up get on them? Is that normal? The dogs were not at Special Night Spa. The dogs were in the kitchen when she was cooking. The dogs were in the kitchen when she was cooking. Is that normal? The dogs were not at a spa or anything like that. They were in the kitchen. Because I like to clean the outside of the fry pan and saucepan myself. Doesn't make me a better person than this drunk whore, but it makes me a more hygienic one. She said the dogs were at a spa, did she? She said the dogs were at a spa. Oh, God, she's an idiot. Okay. Let's go back through the timeline. Well,
Want food?
let's have a look.
Out. Let me cover this up so it stays warm. Out.
So she just told one of the dogs to get out, but the dog's at a spa, right? Now, obviously, with the ability to enlarge and, segregate certain sections of the screen, don't push me, hooker. There is the drop off from the corner of the bench. Let me make sure we grab that whole area. Let's slow this down in speed.
This is done.
Gas is flowing. The dog's there. That's one dog. There's the other white dog. That's the other white dog right there. Now, that's Jake. So I've shown you that while the ticking's going on and the gas is leaking, that Jake and Lila were in that room at a lower altitude than a human being. The gas was leaking for 13 minutes and something. And considering miners of the old days, because like Chick said before, gas has no smell until it is processed at a plant where the smell is added to it as a safety control mechanism to something you can't see. And I think I've shown you the best possible way that I can, and people have kindly enough put comments in the section. Oh, the dogs were at a spa. No, they were not. The dogs were there. She didn't light the cigarette. Yes, she did. There's the lighter. She spilt water on it. No, she didn't. Let's have a look. We examined that. There was no water spilt. And what I have shown you, whether I was drunk, stoned, fucked up in any kind of way, which I'm not. I'm drinking lemonade, actually out of a can, no matter who handled it at the shops. I rest my case. I'll leave this video up. But I want to show you what Michelle's really like. Let me just go to my email. One more thing. So she's already said that the dogs were at a spa, has she? I'll open my email. I'm pretty sure. This lady is an ex-hooker and was a hooker for 20 years. She says, get ready with an ex-hooker of 20 years, no filter. And you can bet your ass let me. You can bet your ass, Michelle is worse than that. Straight up. Straight up. Straight up. That's an ex hooker of 20 years, Mojo. I am just so upset. I am just so disappointed. I am. I'm really. I can't explain to you how disappointed I am, as some would be, that we didn't get to see a propane gas or a natural gas fireball singe her eyebrows, her hair, set the fucking joint on fire. Yeah, that was, and realistically, by nature, her last cooking videos, you have 1 hour and 16 minutes, 1 hour and 16 minutes, 2 hours and 7 seconds, and then 1 hour and 1 minute. I've shown you her dirty clothes. I've shown you her dirty kitchen. I've shown you everything possible. No one can question anything I've shown you. I've shown you in so much depth. I've spoken about the control mechanisms. I've spoken about science, physics. I've spoken about health, hygiene. I've spoken about clouded energy drinks. I've spoken about everything that I can speak about in a retort to being called a drunk by Michelle after being told that I should purchase a gas stove when I already have one. And, you know, Michelle needs to understand something, right? Old school Italian style percolator. So, I have a few of these. You put the water in the bottom, you stick the filtration unit on top of the water. That little valve on the side, that's a safety pressure valve. You pack it with coffee. You screw the top on. Science, stepping into the realm of science. You put it over a heat source. The water boils, usually at 100 degrees. It doesn't matter if it boils. With boiling comes pressure. The pressure will push the water up the funnel of the filter through the coffee into the top portion of that percolator. I have gone and hung my washing out while that's on. I have Mission Possible, so I don't want you looking like anyone different. I have gone for a quick turd while I've had that percolator on. I have forgotten that I had that percolator on, and it splashes out of the spout. Water? Shit. Try covering your stovetop with fucking coffee. And I can guarantee you, whether I wipe that coffee, which is water in essence that's been pushed through the coffee to turn it into a liquid coffee, I could do every fucking science experiment that I could think of to debunk your ass. You would still conjure up a lie. You're a horrible person, and just like many were hoping, I'm telling you, I so wanted to see your windows in that kitchen blown out through an explosion caused by your narcissistic, lying ass fucking behavior, because Michelle always wins, right? You actually did win that time. Because it didn't fucking blow up. But just like you were the cause of your Jeep, just like you are the cause of your DUIs, just like you tried to tell people that the reason your family don't speak to you is because of YouTube, just like you tell everyone it's everyone else's fault. If your kitchen had blown up, I would have opened up a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue Label just to celebrate. I'm just letting you know that. I'm just letting you know that. And you call me a drunk? I've never had a DUI in my life. Look at you. You pick on people like Lucy. You pick on people like Lucy. And I hope Lucy gets to see this video. Because I've always said it. Lucy could outcook your ass blindfolded. I'm just saying. And you only wish. This is all you can do about Lucy. You only wish you were like Lucy and had the relationship that Lucy has with Mr. Lucy. Look at her, lap it up, and understand that that is something you've never had. That is something you will never have. I just thought I'd let you know. I just thought I would let you know that. Yeah. 99.
I never kissed a mouth that tastes like yours. Strawberries and something more. Ooh yeah, I want it all. Lipstick on my guitar. Ooh. Fill up the engine, we can drive real far. Go dancing underneath the stars. Ooh yeah, I want it all. Got me feeling like I wanna be that guy. I wanna kiss your eyes. I wanna drink that smile. I wanna feel like my soul's on fire. I wanna stay up all day and all night. Yeah, you got me singing like, ooh, I love it when you do it like that. And when you're closer, give me the shivers. Oh, baby, you wanna dance till the sunlight cracks. So when they say the party's over, then we'll bring it right back. And say, ooh, I love it when you do it like that. And when you're closer, give me the shivers. Oh,